Our next guest. We have watched him grow up since the day his father, Rudy Giuliani, was sworn into mayor of New York City. And now Andrew has a big announcement you'll only see right here on Good Day New York.
And Andrew Giuliani joining us this morning. Good morning to you, Andrew.
Lori, Rosanna, it's great to be with you here this morning. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful sunrise in New York, and I think that's very apropos for the announcement we're about to make.
Okay, go ahead, make the announcement.
Well, I am seeking candidacy for the 57th governor of New York. I think it's time that New York get turned around. I'm sick and tired of seeing New Yorkers leaving to Florida, to Texas, to Tennessee. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that New York is not just the cultural center of the world again, but the economic center of the world. Like so many of our grandfathers and grandparents before us, they believed in New York. They believed that New York was the land of opportunity, a place where you could create a dream. I still believe that. I have that optimism. And I have to tell you, we're going to get this done. We're going to win in November of 22. And the fact that I get to announce it on Good Day New York, you know, my mom was an anchor for 6 years on Good Day New York. So there's great meaning to that. So.
Yes, Donna Hanover, of course.
That's right.
So let me ask you this, because I know you've talked about dynasty versus dynasty, Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, the fight of the century in 1971. You think you're Frazier, I take it.
Well, especially if it's going to be the one in the Garden, I'm Frazier. If it's the last two, then I'll be Ali. We'll put it that way.
But is it going to be a fight against Cuomo or really standing for something?
Well, look, it's going to be really standing for something more than anything, right? I mean, New Yorkers over the last, especially the last 14 months, but really over the last 10 years, they've seen jobs leave the state. They've seen crime just increase. And this is not just a New York City problem. This is happening in Buffalo. It's happening in Rochester. It's happening in Albany. And we're seeing less and less options. I shouldn't say less and less options, but the truth is dollars should be following our kids and giving the parents an opportunity to have school choice. We've seen in this most recent budget that while Governor Cuomo said that he was a champion for school choice, the truth is he got completely rolled over by the teachers union in this last budget, and there was no extra for school choice, which New York City desperately needs.
So, Andrew, let me ask you, you came into our world, the public foray, when your dad took office as mayor of New York City. I think a lot of us who witnessed it will never forget, because we could all relate to when your kid kind of upstages the big announcement. A lot has transpired. You've, gone on to college. You've graduated. You worked in President Trump's administration. But what makes you think that you're ready to be governor of New York right now? Do you have enough experience? Because it's such a complex state.
Yeah. Well, look, as you mentioned, over the last 4 years, I worked in the White House with President Trump. I worked in the Office of Public Liaison, and especially over this last year when the pandemic was happening, our office in particular in the White House, the Office of Public Liaison, we were crucial in setting up the Paycheck Protection Program, in dealing with our private sector CEOs and the Treasury Department. I can tell you, if you're dealing with the private sector and multiple federal agencies, you are ready to run a state. So we basically, in 6 days, along with the help of President Trump, of Secretary Mnuchin, and of our business CEOs, all across the country, we're able to put together a program that saved millions of jobs in New York and tens of millions of jobs across the country.
So,
Along
Andrew,
with that,
yeah, I was just going to say to you, Andrew, I mean, this is are you okay? I just see your name. This is a Democratic town. This is a Democratic state. Do you think that your affiliation with President Trump will hurt you?
Look, I think New Yorkers, whether you're red or blue, they believe more than anything in policies that are going to work for New Yorkers. Even gravity can't stop us, if you see over here. I mean, they believe in policies that are going to work for New Yorkers. And the truth is, we need to figure out ways to create jobs in New York, to cut regulation. That way businesses can be incentivized to build here in New York. So look, I'm not going to run away from my association with President Trump. I think the thing that New Yorkers will learn about me, if they don't know already, is that I'm genuine. I worked in the Trump administration for 4 years, and I'm proud of many of the policies that we were able to accomplish in there. But I think I'm going to be pushing policies that's going to be pro-economic development. It's going to be record-setting crime reduction, which I think the Giuliani name is certainly associated with, and we have that playbook ready to go. and it's going to be more school choice and dollars following our parents. So I'll let voters decide whether or not they want to vote on my association with President Trump, or if they want to vote on the right policies that are going to help New Yorkers.
Can we talk about your dad for a minute?
Absolutely.
Okay, because we certainly all remember you coming out in front of your dad's apartment the morning of the raid, like a pit bull, really protective of his dad. The raid of his office, the raid of his apartment over alleged misdoings and misdealings with Ukraine. Where do we stand out now with the investigation? We just had a report where his attorneys are saying that your dad's being treated like a drug boss or a terrorist.
Yeah, I think it's, look, coming from his perspective, this is a guy who was the youngest associate attorney general in the history of our country, obviously a celebrated U.S. attorney of the Southern District, I think probably the best U.S. attorney of the Southern District, and a former mayor of New York, and a pretty successful one, I'd say. He's very disappointed in seeing how what we believe is the Justice Department being politicized the way that they've been. So where does this stand? I'll let his lawyer comment on where it stands. Because he certainly understands the details of that. There's some things that are privileged between him and my father, so I won't get too much into the weeds and into the details of it. All I could say is one of the major updates that have happened, two of the major updates that have happened since I came out there and defended my father was, one, we found out that the Justice Department started investigating my father the day he started representing President Trump, May 1st, 2018. If that doesn't set off signals, then you're just not listening right there. And secondly, NBC News, the Washington Post, and I believe the New York Times all had to retract stories within 96 hours after that raid, where they falsely ended up claiming that he had been notified by the FBI before, which was absolutely false. So I think more than anything, this is the Justice Department, and I think some people in the media, not everybody, but some people in the media, pushing a narrative before the facts actually come out.
All right, Andrew, before you go, one more reason why we should consider you for governor. Why does Andrew Cuomo need to go in your book?
Well, look, I would say, I made 5 figures last year fighting for Americans. He made 8 figures doing a book deal over here. Andrew Cuomo is only focused on Andrew Cuomo. He does not care about the welfare of New Yorkers. What I could tell you is, in a Governor Giuliani, New Yorkers all across the state will get somebody who will fight for them every single day, who will fight to make sure that New York is the economic center of the world again. The way that we believed from all the way from the Dutch West Indies Company to when the Erie Canal was built, we will make New York the center of economy, and we will make New York a safe and good place to live. Rosanna, I know, Lori, I know you have many friends that have moved out of state over the last 14 months. Are some of them coming back? A lot of them are not. We need to make sure that we make New York an attractive place to start your business again, to create jobs. And I have to tell you, I believe I'm the right person to convey that message. Andrew
Giuliani, thank you for coming on Good Day New York and making us the first people to announce your candidacy.
You know, I remember as a young little kid, as you mentioned before, I was a little bit rambunctious. I remember running around the anchor desk over there as a kid and all those great times at Good Day New York. So it certainly comes full circle now. And Rosanna, Lori, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
In fact, I still see your name inscribed on the floor over here. I think you might have done that with the... Just kidding.
We'll have to update that at some point. I don't know if my handwriting has gotten better or worse. But
we'll have to get you back here in the studio for sure.
Thank you, Andrew. All right.
Thank you very much.